Alrighty, folks, something super sexy and cool is happening tomorrow inside the ORAT school community. We're having one and only Mark, the financial firefighter, who has rentals in Pennsylvania, but lives in Hawaii. Talk about the other juxtaposition of life. But hey, he's going to be talking about how he uses Hemlane to help him out of state manage his properties. And I know not everyone is inside school, so I thought I'd ask Dana to give us a tease on what they will likely be covering tomorrow. Dana, thank you for doing this. I know it's an extra hour out of your very busy day as CEO, but I think the community will really benefit from it.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about it. So a couple of things that I love about what's to come tomorrow and why you should listen. Out-of-state investing can be very challenging, and Mark had some of the biggest challenges in out-of-state investing. And what I really like about Mark is he's very honest about it. A lot of people aren't willing to talk about like, yeah, I completely messed up on X, Y, and Z, and I wish I would have done these 12 things differently.
Yep.
And so that's why I'm really excited to have Mark on the show. What's crazy is I've known Mark, I think, for probably 4 years. I mean, he's been on Hemlane for quite some time. And I didn't realize he's never been out to the properties. I think it was at your event this past year. I had assumed he like went out at one point.
Right.
And I told him, I said, I'm going to Pittsburgh next week. I'd love to like drop by your properties. If you need anything, just let me know.
Right.
And he goes, oh yeah, I haven't seen them.
And, can you go take some pictures?
Yeah, I know. I told him, I said, do you want me to take pictures? It's actually,
it's funny.
I always think if you're on the ground, you can learn so much more. Just being there once, you kind of people have a photographic memory. So as much as like when you're out of state investing, as much as you can be like, no, don't give me just a photo, give me a video of the whole place. Let me know where everything is. It makes things so much easier. But yeah, we have 56% of users on the Hemlane platform are managing a property out of state.
Wow.
And so that's a huge number. And it honestly was more than I had expected.
I would not have guessed that either.
I thought it was I thought that was way too high, but we recently pulled the data on that. And so, I think from that perspective, one, it shows the value, like who's the type of person who's coming to Hemlane. That's always one. Yeah. And then the second thing that it shows is like, hey, you can do it. But I do think I have kind of 3 takeaways of what you need to do in order to succeed with out-of-state investing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, the first one is, and you'll hear a little bit more tomorrow on this, don't go out and buy a ton of properties at once, like 10 properties.
Don't be like Mark.
Don't do it, Mark. Don't buy 10 properties and then just assume that it's going to work out. Iterate, like go buy a property, see what's working, see what's not. You're going to learn as you go through that process. And so much that you learn is like, what is going on with this neighborhood? Am I put these numbers on a spreadsheet. Is this an alligator property or not?
Exactly.
Renovations are huge. So I can't tell you how many out-of-state investors I have seen where I actually go to the MLS listing and I'm like, oh, wow, that looks beautiful. And an out-of-state investor will buy it. And then I actually physically go to the location. I see the property and you go inside and those ones where the turns are quick. Yeah. It's like a fix and flipper who doesn't really care.
Spray and pray. Yep.
What's crazy is then you actually go inside and you're like, this is a different property than what the photos show.
They got catfish. They got property
totally
fish.
Different. And so that's why, even with the realtor, once you trust one, you'll continue to work with them.
Yeah.
But until you definitely want to take it slow. So that's the first thing.
I want to hit that one again because I have unfortunately seen hundreds of people do what Mark did. So it's, Mark's not the only one who saw a market, saw it was cheap, had a pile of money and went ham, right? And got 4, 8, 10, 12 properties before he really checked the proof of concept. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Go slow, get one, wait 6 months, get a second. You're going to need time to get the systems and all of that. And again, this is hard for you, especially if you have a pile of money. Yeah. And I want to be very, very clear. Buy one, wait 6 months, buy another. it'll just save you heartburn, headache, events. Because again, if you go to, I've seen people go too fast and then they become the motivated seller and they lose
Yeah.
money and they never come back.
Yeah, totally. And then the second is actually a point, Michael, that I actually really like that you talk about, and I hope everyone actually listens to it. Do one market. We
Yes,
have investors who are in multiple different markets, and we promote that, hey, you can have Hemlane and be in multiple markets,
for sure.
but your systems, your processes, everything is so much better and smoother when you're just in one market and you know one market. And so it's not to say don't go into 2 or 3 or experiment, but that's when you're scaling. That's not at the beginning.
Yes.
And so just make sure you're focused on one market. I mean, I think you did it so well with Fresno, Bakersfield,
Hmm.
no, Fresno.
Hmm.
Um, you did it so well where you were there, you really knew your market. And what's fantastic about that is when you make your fourth, fifth, sixth purchase, you know it's the right one because you know your market so well.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, a lot of people don't realize the economy of scale, not only in the portfolio, but in the network.
Yeah.
And the bigger your network becomes in, especially in out of state market, the more people that will help you, the more people know of you, the deals will come to you, you'll know their neighborhoods. And I wish more people would focus on a single buy box in an area. And that doesn't mean you can't go, to your point, other markets, but go with intention. Don't
Yeah.
just spray and pray and go, I'm going to get one here and one there and one here and one there. It's like, oh man, you're going to forget who the painter is and who the electrician is. And
Yeah.
that's just going to be a mess.
Yeah. And that kind of leads to that. The third point I have is when you are out of state investing and you are doing management remotely, there's this concept that you can be fully remote. No, you actually need a really good local team
Yep.
on the ground. And for us, it's interesting because, you know, the best investors who are the most successful on Hemlane with it have one go-to person.
Yes.
It's like their handyman or someone who's driving by the property, someone with 30 units is going to need someone who drives by weekly to pick up the trash, and they just execute on things. And you want someone who is reasonably priced for that, and can oversee it. You know, we have the vendor network and we have handymen and electricians and plumbers and all of that. We also have local agents to find and place a tenant.
Mhm.
But for you yourself, if you need someone to go out and install a lockbox, you can use our handyman for it. But you also might just want someone that you have yourself on speed dial, whether it's a person we sent out before and you build a
Yeah.
relationship with them, from our network. We definitely promote that, or someone else. I think there's almost this misconception that no one has to see the property or be the oversight. And for
Yeah.
us, it's like, no, you physically don't need to be there. You can manage remotely. Institutional investors do that too. But you do need some ears and eyes on the ground. And the larger you get, the more that you will need someone recurring, rather than never. So, yeah.
Yeah. When I think about what him, Lane, and Mark are going to talk about tomorrow, a couple of things. One is the work orders and the process. Again, that's the biggest thing for somebody going out of state is trusted boots on the ground or teams. You do your own vetting, you communicate that, you track it, audit trail, all of that. Number two, it is that team, that relationships, right? I always like to have trusted boots on the ground that I could call. I always use the analogy, will this person show up at my funeral? Right.
Yeah.
If they're going to get on a plane to come to my funeral, I'm going to trust them as
Yep.
opposed to just being a paid resource. And then the last one is the time zones. I mean, can you imagine being in Hawaii and dealing with properties in Pennsylvania? That's like 6 hours
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
So again, if Mark can make this work with him, Lane, most of you can. So I think it's the right thing to get Mark in the school community because I do think out of state investing with him, Lane, gets easier and frankly more profitable and
Yeah.
less risky. Right. When I think of out of state investing, again, him, Lane makes it more profitable, makes it less risky, and just makes it more efficient. So I look forward to you two sharing that story tomorrow.
Yeah. And one important point about that, the more, I think that's really important. There have been sometimes properties that come to us, it's like 100 unit portfolio and it's so far gone and there's so many tenants that are delinquent
Mm.
and there's no money and there's none of this. And you're almost like, how did you get to
Yeah.
this?
How'd you get here? Yeah.
When you get to here, we will be able to optimize all of that. But if you don't do the work and you pay for an alligator property, that is so much an alligator property.
Yeah.
Like, there's no miracle to say like we can get 30% above market rate on rent with a qualified tenant. You know what I mean? There's just nothing that we can do from that perspective. And so I think the more is a really important point. I try to be realistic when an investor comes to us and is like, this is the price I want. If I'm looking at the numbers and the analysis, it's like, well, you could list it for that, but it's going to stay on market for 6 months before you decide to reduce the price. We list it at that, but like, you're not going to be making any money. Oh, but my realtor said I could get this price. Well, where did they come up with that price? Because everything else on market in your area that's very similar is $1,000 or $1,500 below that price. And so and we'll post it at that price. And then we'll see, look, a week later, there's zero inquiries on it. And so I do think, I can't overemphasize doing the work and just making sure you have all of that, because you sleep so much better at night, knowing when you come to us, like, 8 times out of 10, when someone comes to us and we say, here's kind of the rent range based on what's in your area, we'll have the person respond, great, that's exactly what I was thinking too. And it's like, fantastic, we're all aligned. You did your research, we've done ours, and we're all aligned. But we'll have a couple of situations where someone's like, I was looking to get so much more than that. And then it's a signal that like, oh no, they might not be aligned. We can do as much as possible, but like, we can't do miracles. We can't get a tenant.
You're not going to you're not going to make a horrible deal a good deal. That's not your job.
Totally. And so, no, it's been really fun. I mean, my favorite thing about out-of-state investing is so funny. My husband said it the other day. He's like, so much about small towns and like, like all of these like different or like tier 3 cities and, fun facts about them. And I'm like, because we're always doing our research. We're always curious where investors are. Why did they go there? What are the industries? What's the population growth?
Nice.
And it's really cool because you get to learn. Like, some people say they like to travel across the US, like in a car or like, my dad was
or whatever
on a train. I would find that so boring. I'd rather be in the market doing it, like seeing what's going on. And so it's really cool to see these parts of the US that I never would. And I almost feel like it's that like vacation, like you get to go across the US and actually see what's going on. But definitely don't go into a lot of markets, do the work, and don't buy your next one until your current one you have optimized and working and everything going well. Because if you say, great, I'll buy a portfolio of 3 and that sounds great, and then you find out the person you purchased from was not a good deal and they oversold you, now you're in a situation where you have 3 times the problem.
Exactly. Folks, again, out-of-state investing is a way lots of people are growing, but please grow with care, get a proof of concept, get a platform that's going to help you communicate, get boots on the ground, run it more efficiently. And if you are in school, you're going to get to ask questions tomorrow with Dana and Mark. I think it's 12 to 1 tomorrow. Is that right?
12 to 1 Pacific time.
Yes. All right, folks, take care of yourself. Have a great day. Dana, any closing thoughts?
Thanks so much. I guess it would be do the work.
There you go. Do the work.